Let us see the horticulture area, horticulture sector. तो horticulture sector का पहली बात तो क्या क्या इंक्लूड होता है? What are the components of horticulture sector? It includes fruit crops, vegetables, flowers, ornamental crops, medicinal and aromatic crops, spices. Spices are also part of the horticulture only. Coconut, cashew, cocoa, plantation crops. So these are the components of horticulture sector. It also includes beekeeping, mushroom, bamboo, है ना? So beekeeping is also dependent upon the flowers. That is why this is also part of the horticulture, है ना? With various initiatives, the percentage share of horticulture output in the agriculture has increased to 33%. So 33% of the total share of inside the agriculture or inside the cropping is also from the horticulture. As per 1718 statistics, total horticulture production is highest in the UP. So this is very important fact for the examination. UP is the topmost state in the horticulture and second highest is the West Bengal. The total production of fruit is highest in case of Andhra Pradesh. So fruits में कौन highest है? Andhra Pradesh, followed by Maharashtra. So Maharashtra is the second one. The total vegetable production उत्तर प्रदेश, है ना? तो फ्रूट्स में आंध्र प्रदेश और वेजिटेबल्स में आपको उत्तर प्रदेश. अगर आपको फ्रूट्स खाने हैं तो आंध्र प्रदेश घूम के आओ, अगर वेजिटेबल्स खाने हैं तो उत्तर प्रदेश घूम के आओ, है ना? इस तरह से आप याद रख सकते हो. टोटल फ्लावर प्रोडक्शन, अगर आपको फ्लावर चाहिए तो आपको तमिलनाडु जाना होगा. तमिलनाडु इज द फर्स्ट हाईएस्ट and Andhra Pradesh is the second highest. So these are the facts, very easy to remember, can be asked in the examination. Fruits and vegetable account for 90% of the total horticulture production, and in India we are basically producing second largest fruits and vegetables in the world, है ना? So this is one thing from where we can identify in that question of 2019 that we will not be importing fruits and vegetables much, right? India is the first in production of banana, mango, है ना? Lime, lemon, papaya, okra. We are first in the production of these crops, right? Now fertilizer, very important. Fertilizer. So here what is the meaning of fertilizer? This is a natural or synthetic chemical based substance that is applied to the soil or the plant tissues to supply one or more nutrient. So we are basically supplying the nutrient so that plant can grow and fertility of the soil can grow. There are two type of nutrients. One is primary nutrient or macronutrient and another is secondary or micronutrient. There are 6 macronutrients which include nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulfur, है ना? And in India, if we see, Indian soils are deficient in these 3 macronutrients, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So you can see Indian soils are generally deficient in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Hence usage of fertilizer is wisely prevalent in India. So nitrogen, phosphorus और potassium को fulfill करने के लिए हमें बहुत सारा fertilizer use करना होता है. Apart from that, we have 8 secondary or micronutrient which include copper, zinc, iron, manganese, boron, chloride and molybdenum and nickel. So आपको याद क्या रखना है कि nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, these are the 3 primary macronutrients which are required in the Indian soil. India is the third largest producer of fertilizer. Fertilizer में हमारी third largest production है, second largest consumer of the fertilizer. Third largest producer है और second largest consumer है. Now if you see the present status of fertilizer production and consumption in India mainly 3 variants of fertilizers are produced at present. We are producing 3 variants. One is urea, second is diammonium phosphate and third is complex fertilizers. So this urea takes care of the nitrogen, this diammonium phosphate takes care of the phosphorus and complex fertilizer takes care of the other things. As far as urea is concerned, this urea is the most produced, most consumed and most imported among all the fertilizers in India. तो इंडिया में जितने भी टोटल फर्टिलाइजर हैं उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन भी यूरिया की होती है, सबसे ज़्यादा कंजम्पशन भी यूरिया का होता है और सबसे ज़्यादा इंपोर्ट भी यूरिया का होता है ना. तो दिस यूरिया इज द राजा, यूरिया इज द किंग ऑफ ऑल द फर्टिलाइजर्स इन इंडिया इन ऑल द टर्म्स. In case of phosphatic fertilizers, 56% indigenous capacity has been developed to meet domestic requirement. यानी कि 56% जो indigenous capacity है वो काम आ जाती है. It means there is some import also. So phosphate is imported also and it is produced indigenously also. Potash is 100% imported, है ना. So if someone asks which macronutrient we import, this is the potash. 100% of the potash we are importing only. There is no production inside India in the potash. This table you can see from the latest economic survey. Here you can see urea, DAP and complex fertilizer. So these are the primary production, है ना. You do not need to remember and see these figures. These are useless. आपको ये देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपको बस ये देखना है कि हमारी प्रोडक्शन यूरिया की होती है, डीएपी की होती है और कॉम्प्लेक्स फर्टिलाइजर की होती है. इसके अलावा इंपोर्ट की अगर हम बात करते हैं, इंपोर्ट में वी आर इंपोर्टिंग यूरिया, वी आर इंपोर्टिंग डीएपी एंड म्यूरिएट ऑफ पोटाश. तो पोटाश तो हमने बताया था कि 100% हम इंपोर्ट ही करते हैं, है ना. यूरिया भी हम इंपोर्ट करते हैं. हाईएस्ट इंपोर्ट इज ऑफ यूरिया ओनली एंड वी ऑल्सो इंपोर्ट द डीएपी. सो इन ऑल दीज थ्री यू कैन सी the highest import is of urea, the second highest import is of DAP and this potash is lowest. So if we see quantum wise urea is highest, DAP is second highest and potash is minimum. But again 100% of the potash is imported only. There is no production inside India as far as potash is concerned. Now if you see sector wise, private sector is occupying highest share in the production. If we see the total production, private sector is actually occupying the highest share, right? So अगर क्वेश्चन आता है कि यूरिया, डीएपी और कॉम्प्लेक्स फर्टिलाइजर इसके अंदर कौन सा सेक्टर है, पब्लिक है, कोऑपरेटिव है या प्राइवेट है, तो प्राइवेट का सबसे ज्यादा शेयर है. फर्टिलाइजर सब्सिडी, तो फर्टिलाइजर सब्सिडी यू कैन सी यूरिया सब्सिडी एंड पी एंड के फर्टिलाइजर. यूरिया सब्सिडी इज हाईएस्ट अमंग ऑल, राइट, एंड पी एंड के पोटाश एंड फास्फोरस उनकी कम है. नाउ देयर आर मेनी गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स व्हिच हैव बीन टेकन to increase the production and to make this urea available to the most number of people. Not only urea but also other fertilizers. So this is the new pricing scheme which was introduced in 2003. Even before that there were few schemes which were introduced, but as of now this new pricing scheme is applicable. That is why we will study about this. So here what happens, suppose there is a company ABC Limited. So let us understand this. Suppose this is the company ABC Limited. This company is manufacturing fertilizer in India. ठीक है? And the cost of production of this fertilizer is 1000 rupees per bag, right? Now government want to give this fertilizer to the farmers. So we have already seen, as part of the green revolution, government promoted the utilization of chemical fertilizer. So government want to give this fertilizer at a low cost to the farmers, but the cost of production is 1000 rupees, which is very, very high. The government decides a price which is called administered price or sale price, notified sale price. The government will say that okay, you will sell at 400 rupees to farmers. आप 400 rupees को 400 rupees में farmers को sale करोगे, and the difference between the 1000 and the 400, that is the 600 rupees, will be given as subsidy by the government, and this subsidy will be going to company only, ABC Limited, right? So the government will be giving the subsidy of 600 rupees per bag to the ABC Limited. This is how this mechanism worked. This price is notified by the government, and accordingly the difference is paid to the company as a subsidy. Now in this mechanism, many problems started. First of all, these chemicals, urea, they are also used in the industries, in the secondary sector. So the diversion of this urea started to the industrial sector. The urea which was meant for the agriculture sector, this subsidy which was meant for the agriculture sector started diverting to the industrial sector. Suppose this ABC Limited produced 100 bags, right? So it will get the subsidy for the 100 bags from the government, because it will show that I produced 100 bags and I sold 100 bags. But actually out of the 100 bags, it is selling, suppose 70 bags to the farmers, and rest it is diverting to the industry, right? So this diversion is actually causing loss to the farmers as well as to the government. The farmers are not able to get this fertilizer. The production of agriculture sector is declining because of this. And secondly, the government subsidy burden is also increasing. तो गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडी दे रही है और फार्मर के पास में वो माल नहीं पहुंच रहा है. So this diversion is started. So because to avoid this diversion, the government came up with neem coated urea policy. So in this neem coated urea policy, all the fertilizer companies, suppose ABC Limited, so this is for the urea only, right? Not for others. So this company will coat, suppose this is the urea, so above this urea there will be a coat of neem oil, right? So this will help in identifying that this is a neem coated urea, government has given the subsidy, and this will not be diverted, because if this is diverted, then it can be identified very, very easily by the authorities on the physical inspection, right? So it will control the diversion of fertilizer, as well as this is also beneficial for the increase of productivity of the soil, है ना? So neem oil also has its own benefit. So not only to control the diversion, but also to increase the production of soil, productivity of soil. This neem coated urea was given, right? Now there is one more problem in the fertilizer sector. The imbalance in the use of urea, right? So basically this urea, it gives an instant result, and it is available at a subsidized price. So most of the farmers, they started over utilizing this urea because it can increase the production in a very less time. It gives instant benefit, but in the long term it damages the productivity of soil, because this is a chemical fertilizer. Over utilization of chemical fertilizer will damage the quality of soil. This chemical fertilizer will penetrate into the water resources. This will degrade the quality of water resources. This will go into the food chain. So this will degrade the health of the people. So this overutilization of urea, this started impacting soil, water as well as the human health. So ecological and human health both were impacted. So to control the usage of urea and to promote the usage of potash and phosphorus, which were required but were not being utilized because they were not sufficiently available at a subsidized price. The government introduced nutrient based subsidy, right? So in this subsidy, what government will do? Government will do soil testing, right? Government will do soil testing, and based upon soil testing it will determine that which nutrient is required, right? Which nutrient is required for a particular soil, right? And for this testing there was National Soil Health Card which was introduced. Based upon the nutrient requirement, the farmer will be given the subsidy, or the farmer will be allowed the subsidy. So this is called nutrient based subsidy. Nutrient based subsidy. Now there is one more problem which started. So although we use the neem coated urea to control the diversion of fertilizer, but still it could not be controlled. Practically, even this neem coated urea was not completely successful, right? Because it also had some loopholes in the physical inspection. There was some corruption, and the person can manipulate, the officer can manipulate and allow diversion. So there was loophole in the neem coated urea also. The government started in 2016 a new scheme which is called direct benefit scheme or direct benefit transfer of fertilizer subsidy, right? So here, so earlier, before this scheme, the subsidy is linked to production, है ना? So for example, ABC Limited produces 100 bags. The subsidy of $600 per bag will be given, and ABC Limited will get 60,000 rupees from the government, है ना? So this is based upon the production. अब ये 100 बैग में से ये इसने इंडस्ट्री को सेल कर दिए, वो सब कंट्रोल नहीं हो सकता और गवर्नमेंट को नुकसान हो रहा है वो, ठीक है? In the new scheme, in the DBT scheme, this subsidy is linked to actual sale to the farmer, right? So how will this function? In this case, what will happen? This is the retail shop which is authorized by the government. In this retail shop, fertilizer is being sold. So a person comes to the shop The person will show Aadhaar card. The person will show the Aadhaar card, and based upon this Aadhaar card, the government can identify whether the person is a farmer or not a farmer, right? So first there is an Aadhaar card, second there is some upper limit which can be given to a single farmer, upper limit of fertilizer which can be given to a particular farmer, right? So due to this system, there is a effort to control the diversion of fertilizer to the non-agricultural areas. So this direct benefit transfer scheme in the fertilizer sector is also working. The government is also, in fact, in some areas it also tried that this sale to the farmer can be done at a high price, and the difference between the subsidized price and the market price can be sent directly to the farmer, right? But it was not successful, so the sale of the fertilizer is happening at the subsidized price only to the farmer. But this identification through the Aadhaar and upper limit, these two systems are being applied, and the diversion of the fertilizer is being controlled through this scheme, right? So these are various efforts which are being taken by the government, right? So let us see now. So please read this slide. Please read this slide. Am I audible properly? Yeah, am I audible? Everyone, please answer. Okay, good. So you can see new pricing scheme in 2003 where the subsidy was determined on the basis of group averaging of retention prices of यूरिया यूनिट, है ना? तो इसका मतलब सिंपल ये है कि उनका जो कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है वो डिटरमिन की जाएगी एवरेज, है ना, अलग अलग फैक्ट्रीज के बेस पे, फैक्ट्रीज ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, फैक्ट्रीज की जो प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है, बेस्ड अपॉन दैट द कॉस्ट विल बी डिटरमिन्ड एंड द फार्म गेट प्राइस ऑफ यूरिया इज फिक्स्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट, है ना? सो इन आवर एग्जांपल this 400 rupees is the farm gate price, है ना? So this is fixed by the government, and the difference between the farm gate price and the unit's cost of production, that is 1000 rupees, and the 400 is reimbursed as the subsidy, that is 600 rupees. So this 600 rupees is given as the subsidy. However, there are certain limitations which include market distortion, that is distortion of fertilizer to the non-agriculture purpose, illegal export. So even this diversion included export to other countries, rising prices of input material which is increasing the cost of production. Then we came up with the nutrient based subsidy in 2010 where an amount of subsidy for a fertilizer is fixed on an annual basis based on its nutrient content. At present, there are 21 grades of P and K fertilizers covered under this nutrient-based policy. So this is for P and K. Urea is not covered over here, right? So this is for the P and K. As I told you, the people are overusing the urea. That is why this nutrient-based scheme is being promoted, so that only that fertilizer which is required will be given to you, and the subsidy will be given on that only. Not, you will not be given the urea. The objective of this scheme is to foster the balanced use of fertilizer for improving soil health and also reduce the government outgoing fertilizer support. However, the scheme has certain limitation. Urea is not covered. Delay in the subsidy payment by the government. Neem coated urea policy, it came in 2015. As per this, it is mandatory to quote 100% domestic और imported urea. तो जितना भी यूरिया है, चाहे वो बाहर से आएगा, चाहे वो हमारे खुद की कंट्री में प्रोडक्शन होगा, उसको हमें कोट करना ही होगा. एंड दिस इज ओनली फॉर द यूरिया. प्लीज बी केयरफुल. नीम कोटेड यूरिया पॉलिसी इज ओनली फॉर यूरिया एंड न्यूट्रिएंट बेस्ड सब्सिडी इज नॉट कवरिंग द यूरिया. सो दिस इज द प्राइम डिफरेंस. सो इट विल हेल्प इन कर्बिंग द डाइवर्जन. अभी जो इसकी कॉस्ट आएगी, दैट कॉस्ट कैन बी चार्ज बाय इंक्रीजिंग द कॉस्ट, द सेल प्राइस बाय द 5%. So the sale price will be increased by 5% so that the company can recover its cost of production which increased because of the neem coated urea. Now please see this question, 2015 question. So this scheme came in 2015. That is why this question became the current affair question of 2016. So please see this question and give your answer. So as I told you, this is an overlapping area. Agriculture is an overlapping area. So I have given this question over here, but this is strictly speaking, this is the question of environment, है ना. Environment या आपका geography का question है ये strictly, है ना. What is the answer? और लोग बताइए क्या आंसर है आपका. So here the answer is B for Bombay. So as I told you, this is this area of agriculture is very overlapping with the other areas. So we were discussing about the government scheme, but this question is of environment, but I am indicating so that you can know that they can ask both the government scheme related part as well as they can ask the technical part. So this here the answer is neem coating slows down the rate of dissolution of urea in the soil, right? So this actually reduces the requirement of urea. New urea policy which was launched in 2015. So this is for actually increasing the production and increasing the energy efficiency. So here the focus is to support the gas based urea unit. So those urea production unit which are using the natural gas, right, which are using the natural gas, this initiative is actually supporting them through giving them the gas subsidy. उनको सब्सिडी मिल रही है cost of production पे, है ना. Now there is a direct benefit transfer which started in 2016. So here the POS device is installed and through the photo ID, Aadhaar, etc., the buyer is identified and the farmer get the fertilizer at the subsidized price only. And by linking the actual sale to the subsidy payment, it facilitates a more transparent and faster tracking of funds along the value chain, right? Diversion of fertilizer is expected to be minimized. Now next question is about the organic farming. So because of excessive use of the chemical fertilizer, we actually damaged the quality of our soil. And in this context, we want to promote the organic farming. We want to control the use of pesticide, fertilizer, antibiotics and other chemicals. There are two dedicated schemes. One is Mission Organic Value Chain Development Northeast Region and second is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Apart from that, we also have a national program for organic production. This is being implemented by the Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, APEDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, as per the guideline of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The participatory guarantee system for India under the Ministry of Agricultural and the Farmers Welfare, right? For certification of produce as organic produce, FSSAI has notified Food Safety and Standards Organic Food Regulation 2017, which requires organic food to comply with provisions of any one of the two certification system. तो ये certification system है National Program for Organic Production and Participatory Guarantee System for India. Sikkim has been declared as the first 100% organic state in 2018. It got the award, है ना, as the world's first 100% organic state. Now see this question. This question of 2018. What is the answer? Yeah, answer is before Bombay. So first statement is wrong because National Program for Organic Production is operated under the guidelines of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, है ना? तो rural development में नहीं है. So this kind of question are asked to confuse you, है ना? So if you know that this National Program for Organic Production is for actually certification, this certification is for sale. Sale will be work of commerce and industry, है ना, to increase your revenue. So this is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This is functioning as a secretariat. Yes, this is correct. We have already seen that this is being implemented by the APEDA, है ना. So implementation is basically means that it is acting as a secretariat or for the operational work. So statement 2 is 3. Sikkim is 100% fully organic state. Yes, this is correct. Answer is option B. Now also see this important index of crop diversification. This index of crop diversification was given by the Economic Survey of 1718, and this index value indicates if the value is high, that means there is high diversification of crop, right? So in India we have been facing upon the problem of poor diversification of crop. There is crop imbalance after this green revolution, right? So we have been now trying to identify that which states are doing good in the crop diversification. This crop diversification will help the improvement of the ecological health also, right? So Karnataka tops with the highest level of crop diversification. You can see over here Karnataka, the score is highest, and Odisha score is lowest, and all India, if we see as compared to 1994-95, the score has decreased. Crop diversification has actually decreased over a period of time in the last 25 years, right? So highest Karnataka, lowest Odisha, and overall India there is a decline. So these three patterns you should remember. In the examination they can know, they can ask you any pattern. This information is from the Economic Survey of last to last year. Then this is a scheme, Kisan Credit Card scheme. which you will find in the news. Therefore, you should know the important features. The question can be asked anytime. So this scheme was designed by the NABARD and it is implemented with the help of public sector banks, cooperative banks and rural bank. So ये जो बैंक हैं वो क्रेडिट कार्ड ऑफर करते हैं फार्मर्स को. Farmers will get the credit card which they can use in buying different agricultural inputs, है ना. तो this is a kind of loan given to the farmers through the credit card. Who can be the eligible beneficiary? Individual farmer who is a owner cultivator. तो owner भी हो सकता है, tenant भी हो सकता है, शेयर क्रॉपर और ग्रुप ऑफ एनी ऑफ देम भी हो सकता है, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप भी हो सकता है, और आपका beneficiaries of fishery and animal husbandry can also possess KCC, right? So this is important. Fisheries and animal husbandry, they were extended KCC also, so they also get the benefit of KCC. Age limit is 18 to 75 years. Please be careful, not 60 but 75, right? Validity period is 5 years. तो जो कार्ड मिलेगा वो 5 साल तक वैलिड रहेगा. You will get an interest subvention. What is the meaning of subvention? Subvention means concession. So normally the rate of interest for the agricultural loans is 9%. But if the loan is being given through Kisan Credit Card, this loan is available at 2% concession. That means 7% is the final rate. 7% is the final rate. है ना? Or if you make the repayment within the time, then you will get additional interest subvention. That is additional 3% reduction will be given. So you will be charged only 4% rate of interest if you can repay the amount within the given period. Up to rupees 1.6 lakh there is no collateral security, है ना. और ये जो interest subvention है ये 3 lakh तक है. This only up to 3 lakh rupees. Notified crops or notified areas are covered under crop insurance for all KCC loans. So if KCC loan is being given, then some notified crops or notified areas, they also need to be insured. There needs to be crop insurance, so that if there is a damage, the farmer is able to get the compensation, and that compensation can be used for giving back the loan which has been taken in the form of Kisan Credit Card. At present, there are 6.67 crore active credit card in the India, right? So these are the important aspects which are related to the input. Apart from that, in the next section we will start with the agriculture marketing. We will also see the food management, food subsidy, Food Corporation of India, PDS, agricultural. Like we will basically see the post harvesting system. अभी तक हमने जो देखा वो आपका इनपुट वाला था, उसके बाद हम देखेंगे एग्रीकल्चरल आउटपुट वाला, है ना. वी विल सी ऑल ऑफ दोस एरियाज. सो this is the end of this session. If you have any question, you can ask the so basically agricultural insurance, it helps the farmers, it protects the farmers from the agricultural losses in case the farmers face some losses on account of losses which can be incurred by man-made issues or by natural issues. All of those issues, if they result into the agricultural losses, damage of crop, all these problems are covered in the crop insurance. It was introduced in 1985 by the name of Comprehensive Crop Insurance Scheme. In 1999, National Agricultural Insurance Scheme (NIAS) came. In 2007, weather-based crop insurance scheme came. In 2010, Modified National Agricultural Insurance (MNIS) came. And in 2016, all these schemes were replaced by the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So, as of now, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is the main scheme. Apart from that, this weather-based crop insurance scheme is also being implemented in the revised form. So this is called revised revised weather based crop insurance scheme, right? So primarily Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, revised WBCIS is also applicable in some cases. So we will discuss about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. This is important because recently many changes have been introduced in this scheme, right? So recently some changes have been introduced in this scheme. That is why this scheme becomes important. This becomes a current affair issue, and this is important for the examination very, very highly, right? So please mark this very, very important. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Already one question has been asked on this earlier. Now this year also or next year they can ask the question again, right? So let us see the objectives. The objective is to provide insurance and financial support for the notified crops. So there are some notified crops on which this is applicable, and these losses can be because of some natural calamity, because of some pest, diseases, etc. Right? The purpose is to give the stable income and encourage the farmer to take the risk, to bring the innovative scheme and take the risk. So this is another purpose. This will also ensure a smooth flow of income, credit, finance to the agriculture sector. Now there are some important features of this scheme. So first of all, this has replaced NAIS and MNAIS, which we discussed here. NIAS and MNIAS have been replaced. We did not discuss the features of NIAS and MNIAS because they have already been submerged into this Fasal Bima Yojana. That is why it is very, very useless to discuss about NAIS and MNAIS, right? The uniform premium of only, so this is important, how much is the premium paid by the farmer. So farmer are supposed to pay only 2% in case of Kharif crop, 1.5% in case of Rabi crop, and 5% in case of commercial and horticultural crops. And this is percentage of sum assured, right? So what is sum assured? For example, insurance company says that if you face the loss of your crop, I will pay you rupees 1 lakh, right? So this 1 lakh rupees is called the sum assured. That means this amount of compensation will be given by the insurance company if there is some loss which happens in this crop, right? So this is the sum assured. Out of this sum assured, this 2% or 1.5% or this 5% is given by the farmer, right? So only this amount is given by the farmer. And suppose, so basically what happens practically, this insurance premium, it can be up to 40% also, maybe 30%, it can be 15%, it can be 10% of the sum assured, है ना? So in our example, let us suppose sum assured is 1 lakh rupees, right? And we are talking about the Kharif crop. Now the insurance company charges the premium at the rate of 20% of the sum assured. So out of this 20%, 2% is paid by the farmer, and rest 18%, this is given by the government equally by the center and the state. So the central government will pay 9% and state government will also pay 9%. And this is basically called normal premium subsidy. So there is a term, normal premium subsidy. Normal premium subsidy means the subsidy which has been given by the government in the form of premium under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So this is how this scheme works. Now recently some changes have been introduced. The first change is that if this farmer belongs to some northeast state. If this farmer belongs to northeast state, in such case, the center will bear 75% of the cost rather than 50%, and state will bear 25% cost in place of 50%. So in our example, 13.5% will be borne by the center and 4.5% will be borne by the state. So this ratio of 3:1, 75% is to 25% will be applicable in case of the northeastern state, right? This is the one case. The next case is so earlier there was no limit. Earlier there was no limit on this amount, right? So in suppose this premium, instead of 20%, this premium is 40%. So this will be 38%, and both the government will pay 19% respectively, right? So there was no upper limit earlier, before February 2020. Till February 2020 there was no upper limit. With the changes coming in February 2020, there has been, they have inserted the upper limit. So now the central government subsidy, in case of unirrigated district, is 30% of the sum assured, and in case of irrigated it is the 25% of the sum assured. So this is the upper limit which has been fixed. Now why this upper limit has been fixed, that is the question. ये upper limit central government ने क्यों fix की है? वो इसलिए fix की है because after this प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, when there was no limit, there was no upper limit, the farmer started cultivating such crops which were highly risky. Like for example, in some area agricultural land, it is very difficult to grow rice because there is scarcity of water. There are chances that the crop will not mature and there will be loss. The farmer also know, but still the farmer is cultivating because farmer knows, in case I am not able to get the value of my crop, I will get the insurance. The insurance is available from the company. The government will pay the premium. So farmer will unnecessarily involve into some unhealthy practices which are increasing the cost of premium for the central government. So this practical problem was observed. Because of this practical problem, the central government said that we will not pay about 30% in case of unirrigated district, and we will not pay more than 25% in case of irrigated district. It is up to state government. If they want to pay, they can allow, otherwise they can also pay equally, and central government will not pay above this limit. So this is the main change which has been introduced. So now there has been upper limit which has been fixed on this normal premium subsidy. There was no upper limit earlier, and this formula between the center state has been changed for the northeastern state. The third change is, earlier this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it was compulsory for those farmers who have taken the loan under different scheme, for example under the Kisan Credit Scheme, Kisan Credit Card Scheme. Now this insurance has been made voluntary. मैं बीच में अटक रहा हूँ, दवाई नहीं कट रही है. Hello. Okay. Can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now मैं किस पॉइंट पे था? हाँ, एलिजिबल. सो अर्लियर all the farmers who took the loan, they were 100% required to go do the insurance, right? Now it has been made voluntary for all. Now it is not mandatory for anyone. Why this has been done? Because in many cases the farmers started bearing the cost of because there was a mandatory, so farmers have to pay the premium for their own pocket, and which was very difficult for them, and because of that they were not getting the loan, because to get the loan they have to pay the insurance premium, which was not possible, which was not affordable by them. So because of that this scheme was made voluntary rather than mandatory, right? So this is also one of the important change, right? Now let us see
in the नहीं समझ पाए वो नो अपर लिमिट वाला सर.
अभी आप इसको पढ़ो, प्लीज रीड दिस स्लाइड, देन वी विल सी. ठीक है, अब पढ़ो इसको. So you can see I have cut down some lines, है ना. So earlier there was no upper limit, but now there is a upper limit, है ना. So we can see the balance premium will be paid by the government to provide full insured amount to the farmer against the crop loss. It is shared between the state and center equally, है ना. It is called normal premium subsidy. So earlier there was no upper limit, है ना. So there is no upper limit. This is the statement earlier. That is why I have cut it down. Central subsidy to be limited for premium. Now this is the change. This is the change. Central subsidy to be limited for premium rates up to 30% for the unirrigated areas and 25% for the irrigated areas or crops, right? So it can be area or it can be crop versus unlimited. And how to identify which area or crop or district is irrigated or unirrigated? So district having 50% or more irrigated area will be considered as irrigated, otherwise they are unirrigated. So this is the criteria. Now this is also a new change. Central share in the premium subsidy to be increased to 90% for the northeastern state. Sorry, I made a mistake. So this is 90%, not 75%, right? So I made a mistake. This is not 75%, this is 90%. So please rectify this, right? And this is 10%. Now please see this. Earlier compulsory for the lonely farmers, now enrollment under the scheme to be made voluntary for all. Now this is voluntary for all. Now there is one more change. Earlier all the risks were covered. All the risk. You can see all the risks were covered. Comprehensive risk insurance is provided to cover yield losses due to non-preventable risk. Now the states have the flexibility to implement the scheme to select any or many of additional risk covers features. मतलब it is up to state which risk it want to cover depending upon the localized calamity, mid-season adversity, post-harvest losses. Further, state or UT can offer specific single peril risk insurance covers like hailstorm etc. under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, even with or without opting for the base cover, है ना. So even if the farmer is not opting for this scheme for other purpose, but just for some one time risk, for example hailstorm, they can choose, and it is up to state government or UT to implement or to choose which risk they want to cover. For post harvest losses, coverage will be available up to maximum period of 14 days from the harvesting for those crop which are kept in cut and spread condition. For certain localized problems, loss or damage resulting from occurrence of, so please read this two line again yourself. Now there are other provisions. Please read this slide also. This third line, underline, this is a change, this is the amendment, recent change which has been introduced. ठीक है जी. तो अगर कंपेंसेशन सेटलमेंट में डिले होता है तो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी इंटरेस्ट देगी. अगर प्रीमियम देने में डिले होता है तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इंटरेस्ट देगी. एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट बी अलाउड टू इम्प्लीमेंट द स्कीम in case if there is a considerable delay, right? Because in many cases the state government have not been paying their due share. Now under the new norms, those state government will not be able to implement this scheme in the next season unless they pay the subsidy of the earlier time. Then if there is an attack by the wild animals, this can be covered, but the cost will be borne by the state government and Aadhaar use for avoiding the duplication. Now please solve this question and give your answer. This is the question of 2016. This was the current affair issue at that point of time. That is why this question came. Again this year also it is a current affair. That is why the question is, there are high chances the question can come.
Sir, option B.
Okay. Answer is option B only, definitely. Statement 1 is wrong because the limit for Kharif is 2%, Rabi is 1.5%, and commercial horticulture is 5%. So statement 1 is wrong and statement 2 is 100% correct. Answer is statement 2 only, option B. Now please read this प्रधानमंत्री किसान मानधन योजना, है ना. So similar scheme we also discussed in the industry chapter for the unorganized sector labor and for the small businessmen. Similarly the government has also given the same pension scheme for the farmers also, है ना. So just read this scheme, it is important for the exam. And please mute yourself. I can see some disturbance from anyone's side. So this is a voluntary scheme and contributory. Contributory means the farmers have to contribute something from their own pocket. The age group is 18 to 40 and the person will get monthly pension of 3000 rupees after the age of 60 years. The monthly contribution can range minimum 55 to 200 rupees depending upon the age. तो अगर एज कम है तो प्रीमियम कम जाएगी, है ना, क्योंकि प्रीमियम ड्यूरेशन विल बी मोर. अगर एज ज्यादा है तो प्रीमियम ज्यादा जाएगी. सो मिनिमम प्रीमियम विल बी 55 and maximum 200. The beneficiary can choose to contribute on the quarterly basis, 4 monthly basis or half yearly basis, not on a monthly basis. तो मंथली वाला कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. कैलकुलेशन मंथली होगी लेकिन कंट्रीब्यूशन क्वार्टरली यानी कि 3 मंथ में एक बार होगा या 4 मंथ में एक बार होगा या 6 मंथ में एक बार होगा, राइट. स्पाउस कैन ऑल्सो गेट दिस पेंशन, separate pension of 3000 upon making separate contribution, है ना. So both husband and wife can get separately, both are eligible. LIC is the fund manager. All the operation will be done by the LIC and even the payout of the pension will be done by the LIC. Now please read this. These are some small points. They can be asked in the examination because आजकल प्रीलिम्स का एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट बनाने के लिए वो ऐसे ऐसे चीजों को पूछ लेते हैं, है ना. एंड दिस स्कीम इज इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इज व्हाई यू शुड नो. सो प्लीज रीड दिस एंटायर स्लाइड केयरफुली. दे कैन आस्क एनीथिंग फ्रॉम दिस, दैट इज व्हाई वी नीड टू कवर एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल. So all of these things are self-explanatory. The last point you can see the farmers who are the beneficiary of PM Kisan scheme. So this is the scheme where the farmers get 6,000 rupees. The small farmers, they get the 6,000 rupees in 1 year in their bank account. So जो उनको पैसा मिलता है उनके बैंक अकाउंट में, they can get the amount deducted from that account only and the contribution can be made directly from that account, है ना. So this is the point. So with respect to food management, the most important agency in the food management is Food Corporation of India, FCI. This Food Corporation of India is the public sector undertaking. It is the central PSU. It is the central PSU, right? So this is the central PSU which we discussed in the central PSU chapter. Now in the overall food management of the government, there are 3 primary issues. First is the procurement. First of all, the food grains are procured from the farmers at remunerative prices, and this is done at the minimum support price. So this is done at the minimum support price. The procurement is done at the minimum support price. After that, the maintenance of buffer stock is done. So buffer stock is a stock which is kept for the contingency. So for example, during the corona lockdown, as per the government has stock worth 3 years of consumption. So we can consume the available food stock for the next 3 years and still we can manage, right? So this buffer stock is used in the difficult situations. So in the corona lockdown, there is no problem of climate, there is no problem of monsoon failure, so our crop will grow without any problem. So even at this point of time, there is no problem related to agriculture sector. So this buffer stock like not much required, but still it gives a sense of safety, it gives sense of security to the government. So this buffer stock is more required when we face monsoon failures, we face the agriculture failures, crop failures. In those times, this is primarily required. Both of these work, the maintenance of the buffer stock and procurement, both are done by the FCI, Food Corporation of India. And third one is the distribution of food grains to the consumers and especially the vulnerable sections, and this is done by the respective state governments. So respective state governments, they have the food fair price shops. So in the fair price shops, these goods are sold at a very affordable cost. So these are the 3 aspects which will comprise of which will be part of the food management. Now, as I said, that Food Corporation of India is an agency which procures and stores the goods, and apart from that, it sends or it distributes the food grains to the state. So state actually distributes to the final consumer, right? So if we say what is the economic cost of food grains, economic cost of food grain, that is the total cost of food grain for the FCI. FCI के लिए total cost कितनी होती है? तो FCI की total cost होती है, first is the pooled cost of grains. Pooled cost of grains is the weighted MSP. Means on an average how much MSP was given by the FCI to the farmers. So this is the pooled cost of grains, right? So this is the pooled cost of grains. Second is procurement incidentals. Procurement incidental means the procurement related cost. For example, the cost of loading, transportation, right? Even the cost of basically storage also, right? Then cost of distribution. So cost of distribution primarily includes the transfer cost to the states. So when the goods are transferred to the states and this state ultimately they sell to the consumer, right? So the cost of transfer to the state, till this point this cost of distribution is counted as part of the economic cost of food grains, right? So here you can see the question of 2019. So please read this question and tell me what is the answer. Answer is C only. The economic cost of food grains to the FCI is minimum support price and bonus if any. So bonus is also part of the MSP. If sometime the government feels it should give the bonus, then it can also give the bonus. And apart from that, we have procurement incidentals and the distribution cost, which is part of the economic cost of food grains. So this is the question of 2019. Answer is option C. Now, what is the total food subsidy which is incurred by the central government? Food subsidy. Food subsidy incurred by the central government, right? So it has two components. One is the subsidy which is provided to the FCI for procurement and distribution of wheat and rice under NFSA and other welfare schemes, and for maintaining the strategic reserve, right? That is the buffer stock. Right. So basically, this Food Corporation of India, it buys the food grains, and that cost is called economic cost of food grains. Right. So suppose, for example, the economic cost of food grains is 1500 rupees per quintal of wheat, right? And the total cost to the FCI is 1500. FCI is selling it to the state government at a low price. Why? Because the central government promises some food grain to the state government, so that those food grain can be distributed as part of the different food security schemes, like under the National Food Security Act, under the Public Distribution Act, under the Public Distribution System, PDS, right? So the price at which the food grains are sent by the FCI to the state, that is called central issue price. So this is called central issue price. So for example, central issue price is 1200 per quintal. So this 300 per quintal will be the item number 1, which we discussed here, this one, right? So this will be the subsidy provided to the FCI for procurement and distribution, and this is how we calculate this subsidy, right? This is one thing which is part of the food subsidy. The second part of the food subsidy is that at some, like many a time, the state government also take the decentralized procurement, right? So for example, the center says to the Punjab state government that please procure yourself, because you have a very good harvest and you utilize that food grain yourself, right? So what is the benefit? The benefit is that FCI do not need to store in the godown, do not need to incur the transportation cost. So the cost of storage and cost of transportation can be saved. The state government can procure from the local and can distribute in its fair price shops directly, right? So that way decentralized procurement actually reduces the cost as well as reduces the timeline of the entire process. So in that case, the subsidy can also be provided to the state government. So this is also part of the food subsidy. Now let us come to the public distribution system. So this public distribution system, through this the food is provided to the poor and vulnerable section. And let us see the historical evolution of this PDS. So this PDS was launched in 1965, and this PDS is operated jointly by the central government and the state government, right? So there is joint responsibility both of center and state, right? So if there is a question that PDS is the sole responsibility of state government, no, it is a joint responsibility of center and state both. The responsibility, now how it is joint? So सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट परफॉर्म्स स्टोरेज, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड बल्क एलोकेशन, राइट, एंड द प्रोक्योरमेंट थ्रू FCI. So all this work, storage, transportation, bulk allocation and procurement, all this is done by the FCI on behalf of the central government. So this function we have already discussed. All this is done by the central government, and final distribution to the beneficiary, that is done by the state government. So final distribution as well as supervision of the fair price shops, both of these tasks are done by the state government. Now, who identifies the beneficiaries? So, identification of the people who are eligible, especially the below the poverty line people, it is the responsibility of the state government. So, identifying them, then issuing the issuance of the ration card, both is the responsibility of the state government, right? PDS seeks to provide the beneficiaries two cereals. So primarily it want to ensure that at least everyone has rice and wheat, and apart from that, in some cases it can also provide some essential commodities, for example sugar, edible oil, soft cake and kerosene oil, right? Some of the state government, they can add certain other items, for example pulses, salt, ordinary clothes, school textbook, etc. So depending upon the state government, so there are some state government, for example Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, who are providing some additional items. So the cost of those additional items is borne by the state government only. It is their choice, they can distribute if they want to distribute. The central government has no problem. These items are to be provided to the beneficiary through fair price shops, or popularly called ration shops. So originally it was launched in 1965, right? In and around time when we started this green revolution. Later on it was reformed over a period of time, and in 1997 we introduced targeted public distribution system to improve upon the earlier system. So in the earlier system there were some weaknesses, there was some misuse going on. So we stopped that earlier system and we converted earlier PDS into the targeted PDS. So now this targeted PDS caters to the two categories of population. One is below the poverty line and another is above the poverty line. Apart from that, in 2001 there is one more category which was added, Antyodaya Anna Yojana, who are basically poorest of the poor people. Antyodaya Anna Yojana, AAY, right? So BPL, APL and AAY, these are the three categories which are targeted by the public distribution system. So how do we identify the BPL population? So BPL population can be identified if the income is below 15,000 per annum. So initially BPL household quantity was 10 kg and later on it was extended to 35 kg per household. Now central issue price for APL was fixed at 100% of economic cost, and for BPL it at 50% of the economic cost, right? So it means the central government gave these food grains to the state. If these food grains were to be distributed to the APL, then charge was 100% of economic cost. So in our example, economic cost was 1500 per quintal. So government will charge 1500 per quintal. It means central government will not give any subsidy. No subsidy is being given. Only and only economic cost of food grain is being charged, right? But if it is to be distributed to the BPL, then 50% of the economic cost, that is 750 rupees per quintal, that will be the charge which is being levied by the central government. So because APL were being charged at the economic cost, that is very much equal to the market price, so APL people, they stopped taking the food grain from the PDS because they were not getting any benefit. They were not getting any benefits, so they stopped taking PDS from the fair price shops. So subsequently the APL prices were reduced, and now the APL prices, BPL prices and AAY prices are these. You are not supposed to remember them, right? So just have an idea. For the AAY it is lowest, and for the APL it is highest. Now this PDS, public distribution system, this is a welfare scheme. It is not right based scheme. It means even if someone do not get any ration under the PDS, the person cannot go to any agency to claim its rights. It is sole prerogative of the government whether it want to give the food or it don't want to give the food. It is a welfare scheme. It is a welfare scheme. There is no statutory backing. There is no law which is governing this public distribution system. It is simply a government scheme, welfare scheme, which is run by the central government. There were many issues where this PDS was not being implemented properly. The cost of distribution was very high, and throughout India at state level there were various differences. The cost of distribution, the price at which it was issued, all of these were quite not uniform. So there was huge variation across the country, and the beneficiaries were also not identified properly. There were issues in the beneficiary identification. Apart from that, it was not rights based. So considering all these factors, the so much variations across the nation, poor and identification of beneficiaries, and no right being available to the beneficiary, considering all these issues, in 2013 National Food Security Act 2013 was enacted, and under this a proper right was given to everyone. If you do not get the food, you will get the food allowance. If you do not get the food, you can go to the food commission at the district level, state level, national level, and your grievance will be heard, right? So a proper grievance redressal system was put. The females were made head of the family for the purpose of giving the ration card, right? So the female of more than 18 years of age, and out of the all females, the eldest female will be the person on whose name this ration card will be issued. So this also ensured the women empowerment. And this act covers not only PDS, this act also covers other schemes. For example, midday meal scheme for the schools, ICDS centers, Anganwadi centers, etc. So this National Food Security Act is an umbrella act under which various welfare scheme, for example PDS, midday meal, ICDS, all of these are covered, and a right is provided to the beneficiary. The guidelines are provided to the state government. There will be uniformity of price, and there will be uniformity of the quantum of beneficiaries, the minimum quantum of beneficiaries which every state has to select. So price will be uniform, the criteria of identification will be uniform, the quantity of beneficiary, minimum quantity of beneficiaries at the state level, that will be uniform. The beneficiaries can go to the commissions, district, state and central level commissions, and their grievances will be heard. So a proper system has been laid down through this National Food Security Act, right? So let us see the National Food Security Act 2013. It extends to the whole of India, right? So it extends to the whole of India without any exception. Number 2, it marks a paradigm shift in the approach to food security from welfare to the rights based approach. It includes 75% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population who will be getting subsidized food grain, right? So rural India में 75% और urban में 50% will be the coverage. Overall coverage is expected to be somewhere around 67%, right? So overall coverage of the country is expected to be somewhere around 67%. Presently it covers around 2/3 of the population, right, as per the census 2011, and these people are categorized into 2 categories. One is the Antyodaya Yojana household, AAY household. They will be getting fixed 35 kg of food grain per household per month. So per month they will be getting 35 kg of food grain. Then second category is priority household. So they are the people who will be getting 5 kg per month per person, right? So those household which have been classified into the priority category, they will be getting on per person basis, and the AAY will be getting on household basis, right? So this is the difference. They are on the household basis and priority household is on the per person basis. Now what will be the issue price? What will be the sale price? So the subsidized price will be rupees 1 per kilogram for the nutri cereals or coarse cereals, right? So the coarse cereals will also be provided at rupees 1 per kilogram. Wheat will be provided at 2 per kilogram and rice will be provided at 3 per kilogram. Now the beneficiaries will be identified by the state government or UTs, and there will be proper exclusion. Regular revision will be there so that there is no duplicate card, fake card. There is exclusion of those people who have migrated out or who died out, and the people will be included at the time of birth, so that genuine and also that of genuine left out house, right? And this identification of beneficiaries, primarily this is happening on the basis of socio-economic caste census. So socio-economic caste census is being primarily used by the states to identify the beneficiaries at the state level. So this socio-economic caste census we already discussed in the chapter of poverty, and this socio-economic caste census actually involves this use of exclusion criteria, inclusion criteria, and then there are some other deprivation criteria. Then it also provides for direct benefit transfer. So depending upon the state government condition, whether they agree, depending upon availability of the infrastructure, basically the Jandhan, Aadhaar and mobile, depending upon that the DBT can also be provided. And in fact Chandigarh, Puducherry and urban areas of Dadra and Nagar Haveli, they are using the cash transfer mode. So the DBT mode is being implemented at the partial level. This scheme also provides support to the ICDS centers and the midday meal schemes. Then these are some of the points which actually got missed from the study material. So please write these points separately in your notes if you have the notes with yourself, because these points somehow they were mistakenly left out from the study material, right? So I have covered over here. So one thing is for the pregnant women and lactating mothers, they can basically, they are entitled for the take home ration of 600 calories, 80 to 20 grams of protein, and a maternity benefit of at least 6,000 rupees for 6 months, right? So उनको प्रोटीन मिलेगा, 600 कैलोरीज मिलेगा, और एक an amount will also be paid to the tune of 6,000 rupees for the initial period of 6 months, like 3 months before delivery and 3 months after delivery, right? So this will be the extra benefit which is available under this act. So please be careful. Then the children between the 6 to 14 years, 6 months to 14 years of age, they are also to receive the free hot meals, right? So children between 6 months to 6 years, they will get in the ICDS, Anganwadi center, and above 6 years, they will be getting in the schools under the midday meal scheme Yojana, right? So ICDS and midday meal Yojana both are covered for the children, and children are basically eligible to get free hot meals or take home rations as per their choice. Now, who will get the ration card? So ration card will be issued in the name of eldest women in the household whose age will be minimum 18 years, right? So age should be minimum 18 years. Then there will be central and district level food commissions, redressal mechanisms. There will be proper disclosure of records, social audits. There will be vigilance committees, so that there is proper transparency and the local people are aware about what is happening in their area. So you can take 1 minute and write down these points, because these points were not included in the study material. Okay, so let us move. Please see this question of 2018 and tell me what is the answer.
Option C.
What is the answer?
B option.
Option B. Okay.
B, sir, B.
Okay. So you are right. Answer is B only. First statement, which says the families coming under the category of BPL are eligible. No. So we have two categories, AAY, and we have priority household. So AAY get 35 kilogram on household basis per month, and priority category get 5 kilogram per person per month. Second, eldest women of 18 years and above, yes, they are eligible. And pregnant women, the calories will be 600 calorie per day. So this statement is wrong. Answer is option B. Now please consider this question of 2004. So answer in this case, answer is option C. Statement 1, regarding the procurement of food grains, Government of India follows a procurement target rather than an open-ended procurement policy. So definitely the government has a target. The government will procure up till it meets its target. What is the meaning of open-ended procurement policy? So open-ended procurement policy means that it will procure without any limitation. It is open-ended throughout the year. Anyone can come, anyone can sell to the FCI. So normally this procurement target is maintained. Only in exceptional cases this open-ended procurement policy is followed by the government, right? So procurement target is the correct. So statement 1 is the correct. Statement 2, Government of India announces minimum support prices only for cereals. No, we have already seen it announces for cereals, pulses, oil seeds, copra, etc. Jute also, right? Option 3, statement 3, for distribution under TPDS, wheat and rice are issued by the government at uniform central issue price. Yes, central issue price is there, and at this price it is issued to the state or UT. So statement 3 is also correct. Option C is correct answer. Sorry, in this case answer is C only, not A. So this is typing mistake. Answer is C only. Now see this next question. This is also previous year question.
B, sir. C for Bombay.
Okay.
C, sir. C.
Sorry. Venkatesh, what is the answer?
C for cat. C.
C for cat. Okay.
Comment.
So let us read the statements. Statement 1, Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices CP recommends MSP. Statement is right. Statement 2, Union Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution has launched National Food Security Mission So this National Food Security Mission is basically different from National Food Security Act. This National Food Security Mission is to increase the food grain production, and this is actually given by the Ministry of Agriculture, right? So in your handout of government schemes, you will find this. In your handout of government schemes, you will find National Food Security Mission has been basically introduced under the Ministry of Agriculture, right? So here answer is option A. So you have to carefully read. This is not National Food Security Act. This is National Food Security Mission. So even a single word can make a difference. Again, here the answer is A only, not B. There is a typing mistake. Okay, so this is the global hunger index. So this index, हमें क्या पता होना चाहिए इस index के अंदर? We should know that this is issued jointly by Concerned Worldwide and World Hunger Life, right? So these are the two agencies, and these agencies belong to outside India. There are 4 indicators based upon which this rank is given. Number 1, rates of undernourishment, which means insufficient calorie intake due to inadequate food supply. Child stunting, that means, so here the meaning is also given. This meaning is important, like there can be a separate statement. What is the meaning of child stunting? Low height as compared to the age for children under 5 years of age. Child wasting, low weight when compared to height for child under 5 years of age. Child mortality, deaths under the age of 5 years reflecting inadequate nutrition and unhealthy environment, right? So all of them are under 5 years of age. So we have 4 parameter. Please remember, because these 4 parameter can be asked in the examination, in the prelims examination. Rate of undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting and child mortality. Stunting, wasting, mortality, right? India's rank is 102 with a score of 30.3, and India has improved its ranking as compared to last year. Last year was 103, now rank is 102. Animal rearing is part of the allied sector, and livestock and poultry, they are the 2 important parts of the animal rearing. Livestock basically includes cattle, buffalo, mithun, yak, sheep, goat, pig, horse, pony, mule, donkey, camel, right? So these are the, and during last 5 years livestock sector growth is very, very good, that is 7.9%, which indicates very, very good growth rate. Please read this census very carefully. This is the 20th census. So nowadays the current affairs which are in like this census type of question are being asked. This census gives a broad picture of livestock sector. So this census, first of all, it covers both rural and urban areas, and it covers all domesticated animals, right? And first such census was conducted in 1919, and in 2019 this was 20th census. It is released by Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Please be careful, please mark this. This is not Ministry of Agriculture, this is Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. The counting was done breed wise, both for the animals and birds, and broadly these species were counted. Data was collected online, and good thing is that the total livestock population has increased from 512 million to 535.78 million. So this is the 20th livestock census 2019. So please take few seconds and read it again. फिर से पढ़ो उसको एक बार, जो अंडरलाइंड है उसको पढ़ लो एक बार, so that you do not forget. Now, these are also,
हेलो सर,
yes,
पहले वाली स्लाइड में सर,
हाँ जी,
इसलिए ये सब फर्स्ट टाइम लाइव डाटा विल दे आर कलेक्टेड ऑनलाइन, और ऑनलाइन फर्स्ट पर हुआ है सर ये।
हाँ,
पहले से तो ये 7 साल से होते, एवरी 7 ईयर।
7 years means
टोटल लास्ट पॉइंट, टोटल लाइव पॉपुलेशन हैज इंक्रीज, तो इसे डेटा ये हुआ होगा तब ना ये इंक्रीज।
yeah, so it is not done every 7 year, it is not necessary that it will be done every 7 year, ऐसा कहीं नहीं लिखा हुआ, ठीक है ना। So if you see in the last 100 year it has been done 20 times, it means average 5 year, है ना। sometime it can be like after 3 years, sometime it can be after 7 year, right?
ओके ओके,
तो कोई जरूरी नहीं है, ठीक है।
ओके
Now these are also other facts. Among the total livestock population, 36% is cattle, 27% is goat, 20% is buffaloes, 13% is sheep and 1.69% is pigs. So सबसे highest क्या है? Cattle, goat and buffalo. Then this third point, sheep and goat population has increased, whereas cattle, buffalo and pig, they have marginally declined. Bovine population, which include cattle, buffalo, mithun, yak, they have also increased. Over the previous census, है ना। तो परसेंटेज शेयर की बात करें हम, परसेंटेज शेयर इन द ओवरऑल पॉपुलेशन वो डिक्लाइन हुआ है, बट ओवर द प्रीवियस सेंसस द पॉपुलेशन हैज इंक्रीज्ड बाय 1%, राइट। सो फर्स्ट यहां पे हमने दिया हुआ है इन द परसेंटेज शेयर ऑफ द ओवरऑल पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द लाइव स्टॉक, cattle, buffalo and pig have been reduced, but as compared to last census there is an increment. Exotic crossbreed cattle population is around 1/3 and indigenous cattle population has declined but at a low pace as compared to the previous census, right? So indigenous cattle population is declining and exotic or crossbreed cattle population has been increasing. So see, these are some of the points which you should read. Maybe there can be a question nowadays. Questions इस तरह के आ रहे हैं तो आपको पता होना चाहिए. Take another 30 seconds and read this underlined points again. Now, please read these important facts. These are not part of the survey, not part of the census, but these are the general facts. Livestock contribution to the agriculture GDP is around 30%. We are first in the total buffalo population in the world. We are second in the cattle and goats. We are the second largest poultry market in the world. And we are third in the sheep. We are fifth in the ducks and chicken. 10th in the camel product population, right? So these ranks have been given in the ascending order so that you can recall very easily, है ना? तो फर्स्ट क्या है? बुफेलो. सेकंड में है आपका कैटल, गोट्स एंड पिग्स. थर्ड इज शीप, फिफ्थ इज डक एंड चिकन, and 10th is camel production, right? Apart from that, there are some facts from the economic survey 2018-19. That is the economic survey of last year. India ranks first in the milk production, accounting for 20% of the world production. तो हमारे यहाँ पे मिल्क प्रोडक्शन सफिशिएंट है. एंड वी आर द सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट फिश प्रोड्यूसर. सो मिल्क में फर्स्ट है और फिश में सेकेंड है इन द वर्ल्ड. एंड total production is 13.7 million metric ton, of which 65% is the inland. So in the fisheries there are two areas, inland and offshore. So we are getting 65% from the inland. So please take another 30 seconds and read this carefully. Conceptualize. तो जब मैं बोलता हूँ कंसेप्चुअलाइज, बेसिकली व्हाट आई से इज एवरीवन हैज ओन वे ऑफ रीडिंग. सो यू शुड रीड एज पर योर स्टाइल, जिससे कि आप रिकॉल कर सको. Now, these are the important revolutions. In the examination, they can be asked, किस revolution का मतलब क्या है? Even you can remember in the remember for the mains. Sometimes they ask the mains, है ना? तो जब मैं student था, when I was a student, they asked a question on pink revolution. I think this was the question of 2013 or 14. So मैंने ये इतना मुझे अच्छा नहीं था. I don't know what is the meaning of pink revolution. तो मैं लिख के आ गया मीट रेवोल्यूशन के ऊपर. मीट के ऊपर लिख के आ गया. घर पे आया तो पता चला पिंक रेवोल्यूशन इज अबाउट श्रिम्प्स, है ना? तो ऐसी गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए. ये गलती, जो गलती मैंने की वो गलती आप ना करो. तो उसके लिए आपको पता होना चाहिए कि which color belongs to which area, right? So if you know the name of area, then you can at least write the correct answer. So black revolution is for the petroleum products, blue revolution is for fish, and it was introduced in 1985. father और mother, father है, mother नहीं है इसकी, तो father है डॉक्टर अरुण कृष्णन. ब्राउन रेवोल्यूशन, इट इज फॉर लेदर, कोकोआ. लेदर के लिए भी हो सकता है और कोकोआ के लिए भी हो सकता है. और इनके पिताजी हैं हीरालाल चौधरी. फादर इज हीरालाल चौधरी, राइट? सो यू कैन लर्न दीज थिंग्स इन फनी वे. हीरालाल जी परचेज्ड a leather shoe and then he went to the market. He also purchased this cocoa. He enjoyed this cocoa, right? And that is how he became Chaudhary. So this is how you can remember. And he was wearing brown cloth. Golden fiber revolution. Golden fiber. Fiber hai. This is a fiber. And the color is golden. So if you know jute, jute is a fiber and normally the color of the jute resembles to the golden, right? Not exactly but somewhat. What is golden evolution? So this is the overall horticulture revolution, right? Or sometime only honey can also be referred to. Honey, right? Honey is also part of the horticulture. We already discussed. Beekeeping is also part of the horticulture. Honey is also of the golden color, है ना? And इनके father हैं निरपख टुटेज. Then we have green revolution. We already discussed about this. This is about the agriculture production. In India, the father of green revolution is this M.S. Swaminathan. And who is the person like who introduced this green revolution concept in the world for the first time? Anyone remember?
Norman Borlaug.
Yeah, Norman Borlaug. Wonderful.
So
हाँ वही क्या?
या वही बोलने वाले थे सर.
Exactly, very good, wonderful. So take another 20 seconds and read in your own style. So when you read with concentration, you can recall in the examination. Okay, now pink revolution is for pharmaceuticals, onions and prawns, है ना? So this the question which was asked in the examination was about prawns. Evergreen revolution is for the overall growth. The father of this revolution is also M.S. Swaminathan. Round revolution, potato production. Silver fiber revolution, cotton production. Silver fiber है ना, golden fiber था जूट और silver fiber है cotton. Silver revolution is egg. And what is white revolution? White नहीं है इसके अंदर दिया हुआ. तो वाइट तो आपका मिल्क रेवोल्यूशन हो गया है ना, ये रहा. सो वाइट रेवोल्यूशन, ऑपरेशन फ्लड, डेयरी और मिल्क प्रोडक्शन, एंड द फादर इज वर्गीस कुरियन. येलो रेवोल्यूशन, ऑयल सीड प्रोडक्शन, सैम पिट्रोडा. सैफरन एनर्जी रेवोल्यूशन, इनके कोई फादर नहीं है. एंड दिस इज बेसिकली फॉर द सोलार एनर्जी, राइट? सैफरन एनर्जी रेवोल्यूशन, ही इज फादरलेस, ऑर्फन. रेड रेवोल्यूशन फॉर द मीट एंड पोल्ट्री, राइट? सो पिंक रेवोल्यूशन इज फॉर फार्मास्यूटिकल्स, ऑनियंस एंड prawns. Red revolution is for meat and poultry. So whenever you find these three contrasting items, pharma, onion, prawn, right? Don't get confused because like in this particular revolution, these items are being focused, right? Protein revolution. This is the term which has been coined by our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He is very good in giving new words. He is the master of vocabulary. So he has left his mark in every part of the public life.